What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update. Feel like the PM and his briefings, COVID briefings. That's all we got to talk about today. There's no real, footballing news to talk about. What we got to talk about is the COVID updates at Spurs. And it is not pretty reading, I tell you that. It really isn't. Multiple amount of cases. What was it? Up to 16 cases as a whole. 16
positive cases
in terms of playing staff and Antonio Conte's coaching staff all testing positive.
And some under 23 players as well.
Yeah, and some under 23 players. So, I mean, there's been pictures of players in training today. The players that have been pictured or the players that have been seen in training are Kane, Sanchez, Rodon, Winks, Doherty, Tanguy, Giovanni, Dyer, Tanganga, Sessegnon, Ali, Bergwijn, Scarlett. And then you've got youth players like Brooklyn's Lion Foster, Harvey White, Niall John, Jack Clark, Fagan Walcott, Amole, Casey, and apparently Galini and Brandon Austin has been seen in training as well. It was reported that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was going to do the press conference and he had to pull out last minute. So Conte did allude to saying one other player had been testing positive after training. So you got to assume that it was Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. But the whole thing is just a complete mess from top to bottom. Surely UEFA got to look at it as a safety issue. Surely they should be pulling off this game tomorrow. And the Premier League have got to be pulling off the game on Sunday, surely.
Well, the game tomorrow, as things stand, UEFA say it goes ahead. The UEFA rule is you have to have 13 players from your A-list available, including 2 goalkeepers. And at the moment, it seems as though Tottenham just about make that requirement. Like, it's on the precipice, but it looks like Tottenham do make that requirement. So there's no need from UEFA's point of view to call off the game. Conte was visibly angry and upset in this press conference about the situation, about having to prepare for the game with all these positive cases growing day by day. Apparently each day it's been growing by a number. I'm not sure, not a specific number, but it's just been growing day by day more and more. And it's definitely a situation which Spurs don't need right now, and it's not a great situation for the players and their families when they're mixing with, players who've just tested positive and they're going back home and passing it on potentially to loved ones and whatnot, and that's what's upset Conte so much in this situation. Of course, UEFA should definitely delay this. The training ground should probably just be closed and everyone should be isolating in this kind of situation. That'll be the best course of action. But I think the Premier League will do the right thing. In terms of Sunday, it is confirmed now pretty much that Spurs have appealed to the Premier League to postpone the game on Sunday. So that is official now, reported from Dan Kilpatrick and the BBC and various. So we await. It was reported earlier today, actually, that Spurs were going to await till after the Rennes game to appeal for the Brighton game to be called off, but because after the test came back today and there was even more positive cases, they decided to just not even wait, not bother waiting, and that's the situation we're in at the moment.
But when you look at it, what are Rennes thinking? What are not the fans, but the players, staff of Rennes? They've got to come over. They've got to share, the dugout. They've got to share the pitch as well. And this is with a team that have been around loads of positive cases in training. So it's very likely that some of the Spurs players could even test positive after the game tomorrow. It's very likely. So
what was the rule? What was the rule back in 18 months ago? Like no touching in the penalty area or something. Yeah, exactly. when it was like marking from a set piece.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to go back to that, I guess.
I mean, what are they thinking coming over, being like, I'm going to be sharing a pitch with people that have been in contact with positive cases, and not only are they being in contact with positive cases, but if the game was yesterday, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg would have probably been on the pitch. And he would have been testing positive after the game. So it's very likely this could happen with any of the Spurs players that come on the pitch tomorrow. So surely Rennes would want to get this game called off as well.
You'd think so, but I don't know, UEFA at the moment standing by their rule. And that they're being pretty stubborn with that at the moment. So unless maybe more cases tomorrow come to light, and that takes us under the 13-player threshold, that's what it's come to. But at this rate, I would just, if I was Spurs, I'll just take matters into my own hands and just forego it. That's what I would do. And if UEFA really want to say, well, we're gonna punish you by giving you a loss and a fine. That says more about UEFA than Tottenham, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, this is a competition which I'm not particularly bothered by. And if we're going to put this competition ahead of safety, a lot of players and quite like, you know, when there's positive cases, I don't think that's the right course of action.
What would you have said if this was the Champions League?
And we had to go through.
Like it was a pivotal game in the Champions League. The last group goes like it's the same situation, but in the Champions League. What would you say? And let's say we'd have to fulfill the fixture before the end of the month, and we've got the fixture list that we do have every 3-4 days. Like, what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different situation, I guess. I mean, if it's Champions League, we'll have to play, I guess. That's the situation.
I mean, it's a very, very tough situation. Like I said before, I mean, if this game does get called off, you've got until the end of the month, 31st of December, to fulfill the fixture. And with games coming thick and fast, 3 or 4 days, and, you know, if the training ground does get shut, which, let's be honest, it's not looking like it is getting shut, but if it does, we'll reopen just after the Leicester game or just before the Leicester game, around that ballpark figure, and then the players got to get fully fit for the Liverpool game, and it's just like non-stop after the Liverpool game. We've got a game 3 days after that, 3 days after that, 3 days after that. So when is it even possible to fulfill this fixture, even if it does get postponed?
It's not possible, like from a standpoint where you're going to get good amount of rest after a game and to play a Premier League game. It's impossible. Now we've got 2 other fixtures more likely as well, with Brighton and Burnley. We've got to fill them in as well.
Potentially Leicester as well.
Exactly. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment, and you know, just as we were building some momentum, it's kind of hit us like a dump truck. So I don't know how we solve it. It's not really a case of anything we can really do. It's just a case of keep testing, weighing it out, just seeing when the players are back, and hopefully they can get up to speed as quickly as possible. But at the moment, it's just a bit of a mess. Like, there's not much, like, it's not like they can speed up or anything. It is what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's really, really difficult, and there's nothing we can do. And I feel for Conte because you know, he's trying to prepare for a game, and then all this kind of comes in a whirlwind. And it's easy for him to take his eye off the ball in that sense when it comes to the game tomorrow. So it's a difficult, really, really difficult situation to deal with, and I don't know how he goes about it.
Yeah, it really is it's an impossible situation. Let's be honest, it's completely impossible to know what to do. But I do believe UEFA should be doing the right thing and calling off this game. And if you can't fulfil the fixture, then you've got to forfeit it at the end of the day. But I think that's the situation that needs to be done for everyone's health and safety. It's what I think they're going to do for Sunday. The Premier League are probably going to postpone this fixture. But you know, the Premier League, we've got a lot longer to fulfill those fixtures than we do in the Europa Conference League. So when you're looking at the outlay of our season, the Conference League is probably at the bottom or close to the bottom of priorities. So look, I've made it evident and clear that I've wanted to win the Conference League straight from the beginning, but when you've got circumstances like these, it makes it very hard to put it at the top of your to make it a priority. So in my opinion, I think UEFA need to do the right thing and call off this game for not just the Spurs players' health and safety, but, you know, for the Rennes players as well. I think a lot has to be said about that. But UEFA are sticking to their guns at the moment. We'll have to see how it plays on later during the day. But as it stands, the game is going ahead tomorrow with 10 senior players fit and ready to go.
10 senior outfield players, Tottenham have.
10 senior outfield players. But when you're looking at the pictures and stuff like that, Winks hasn't been seen, Lloris hasn't been seen, Emerson obviously hasn't been seen, Son hasn't been seen, Lucas hasn't been seen, Davis hasn't been seen. So those players that we heard of in the rumours yesterday, seems as though it was spot on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Skip as well, yeah. So look, that is the situation. I want to know your opinions. What do you think we should be doing with the game tomorrow night? What do you think UEFA should be doing with the game tomorrow night? Should they take it into their own hands, and should they be postponing this fixture? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.